Come on. Hey guys, we are taming. After a very long hiatus, this will be the last one, part 5. We are on bad behavior. But before we get into I want to invite you to go to Remote Runaway, my Facebook page. We've been training Baxter to prepare for our trip to Europe. We leave next Thursday. You can find out more about our trip on there. It is our Facebook page. It's called Remote Runaway. So if you want to find out more of what's going on with Bax, and his training to be on a plane for 10 hours, there will be updates on there. So check out Facebook for more on Bax. Right, buddy? Okay. Bad behavior. Unwelcome calling cards. Misplaced marking. Sorry. No, you're still grounded from outside. You know the rule today. You didn't listen to me yesterday, so you do not get to go outside the whole day. But you did a really good job with bag training today. We don't have a crate. We have a backpack, so we call it bag training. He did an excellent job. I did not let him out, not even to go to the bathroom, because I wanted to simulate that we were going to be on the plane, but I didn't do the full 10 hours. I did 8. So as long as he's ever been on it, and he did excellent, didn't you? He got wet food instead of dry food as a reward today. His favorite is wet, but it's expensive, so he only gets it when he's extra good. Okay, so I'll explain a little bit about that later, but I just want to try to get through this and hopefully my internet stays working the entire time. Okay, so unwelcome calling cards. Misplaced marking. Cats use urine, sprain, and deposits of droppings as ways of marking territory. That's perfectly acceptable out of doors, even though your neighbors might find their lawn claimed in this manner. But why should your cat begin soiling indoors, even on your favorite chair? Identifying the cause. It is often difficult to identify what triggers this type of behavior. In many cases, it is the result of the cat feeling insecure or stressed for some reason. It can be the arrival of another pet or a new baby in the home, or the cheeky entry of a neighborhood cat through the cat flap. In multi-cat households, it may be related to competition between males and attempts to emphasize relative status. Essentially, it is so often all to do with territory. Clearly, if you can identify the cause of the behavior, you can take appropriate steps to improve things. Punishment of any kind must never be used, and it would, in any case, probably reinforce the cat's feelings of stress and anxiety. Remedying the problem: once a cat has deposited a scent in the home, he will be attracted to the same spot. When the scent left there begins to fade, and will do it again in order to refresh it, he will be attracted to the same spot when the scent left there begins to fade, and will do it again in order to refresh it. We experienced this before, so I'll tell a story after this. You should clean the marked location thoroughly. It is best to use first warm water and a detergent, and then, when it is dry, to scrub the area diligently with disinfectant. Do not use cleaning liquids containing chlorine or ammonia, because these chemicals occur naturally in cat urine, and using them could create confusion in the cat's mind. That's good to know. When you've thoroughly cleaned the soiled area, you should reinforce the cat's sense of territory by repositioning his food, bowls, favorite toys, and bedding around the soiled area. That's a good idea. We should have did that. Damn it. Okay. Another reassuring ploy is to wipe a piece of cloth across your cat's face to pick up some of his scent, and then rub the cloth on places he has marked. This will help the cat to understand that this is his territory and he has no need to mark it again. So many good ideas that would have been useful. Well, thankfully he has not done anything on it. For whatever reason, he loves the Egyptian cotton sheets, guys. We both feel like we're like royalty in there when we go to bed at night, and he knows that they're special sheets, and he gets like, he doesn't scratch them. He literally just like rolls down, and like it's like he's like like we both love our sheets and are taking such good care of them. So he literally, I switched the sheets after I cleaned everything good. Somebody recommended washing. So I switched. I went from because I have sensitive skin. So because of the Sjogren's syndrome. So I had to switch from like a no dye, whatever scented laundry detergent um to Arm& Hammer that had a scent to it to try to get it out. And so far I haven't had any issues clothing wise, and it actually like killed the smell really good. Arm& Hammer is very strong, it's very good. So I switched detergents and that actually helped, but somebody did recommend buying vinegar and using that as fabric softener. And it also somehow cleans out the scent of cat urine. I think one of the vet techs or people at his vet had recommended that to us. They also recommended Agent Orange to spray the area because he kept peeing in that corner of the triangle on the boat. Right, baby? Right, baby Bex? Nobody wants to look at me. They all want to look at you. Yeah. Yes, uncle. I have to tell you a story later about a doggy that might be coming to stay with us when we come back. Yeah, he's very cute, Bax. So he or she, I don't know, but he's very sweet, and his owner is kind of a dick. So I'm hoping it fails, and then we can adopt him. I thought he was a stray. I don't know if it's a boy or girl, but it's a very sweet dog. Literally, like the prettiest markings I've ever seen on a dog. It looked like a calico dog. Like it had like black spots and gray stripes and then brown legs and then sprinkles of white. It was like literally like salt and pepper with like brown, but like black cow spots. Like it was the coolest freaking markings ever. And then he had one blue eye and one brown eye. He was super sweet. And I'm like, where do you live? Where do you live? Are you a stray? He didn't have a collar. He had fleas. He had a bunch of like matted hair. Like he's not being taken care of in that house. So I thought he was a stray, and I called the police department because it's a small town. I've explained this before, but I live on an island off of Corpus Christi. Not I feel like it's whatever. I've already publicly like put my address since I'm trying to move my boat, but it's Ranza Pass. So there's like a cluster of small towns on this giant island that is southeast of Corpus Christi. And so that's where we live. We originally were living in Corpus Christi when I did a lot of videos in the studio, but it was just too expensive. And then we had the opportunity to buy the sailboat after the renovation of the RV fell through, which I'm still upset because the guy I sold it to, Mo, didn't sell it to. He still hasn't paid me. I donated it to him. He got thrown in jail because Sam, the jerk who screwed me over, took photos of his penis while he was sleeping and sent it to a bunch of girls on his phone, and somehow he ended up in jail for that because it's Bandera and they can arrest you for freaking anything. So Mo got arrested because he was sleeping, and Sam, the evil crazy jerk who did not take care of my RV and screwed me over completely, did this illegally disgusting horrific thing, and I'm pretty sure he has my RV now. And when I called the Bandera police to report this incident, because Mo said, Chelsea, did you get a dick pic from me? And I said no. And he's like, good. And then he said, Sam told me what happened. I was like, excuse me? And then I was like, what are you talking about? And then he had like these other, it's like this whole crazy thing. I hate fucking Texas, and I hate Bandera even more. So I called the police to report this crime and what happened. And I'm like, he and I are sharing an RV that we're trying to fix up and possibly do Airbnb with. And I was like, it's technically like our RV. And then she's like, well, that's between Sam and Mo. And I was like, that's seriously your response after what I just told you what happened and why he's in jail? And like, I fucking hate Bandera and I fucking hate Texas. Like, unbelievable. Unfucking believable that is allowed here. Like, I'm in a third world country in the state of America somehow, you guys. I literally I'm in the Twilight Zone every fucking time I talk to somebody. I don't even know what to think anymore. I need to get the fuck out of here. Okay, so back to this. So basically, cleaned everything really good, changed the sheets, and then what happened? Yeah, so we switched it to the very luxurious Egyptian cotton sheets. Bax and I, the first night we both get in there and we're just like, Ooh, you're just like lay like all cozy, like they feel amazing, you guys. Like they're so silky. They're like literally, it's like the most expensive sheets I've ever owned, and they're only $80 on Amazon. But they feel so good, and like I don't even think I washed them. I think I just put them from the bag straight on there. I just trusted India, and I just said it's good enough for me. So eventually we're gonna have to wash them, but they're still so soft and like I feel like literally like a queen every time I go to bed, you guys. Like I sleep so much, but not lately because I've been stressed. But the sheets are like a huge difference, and the fact that they're triangular is like amazing. But Bax, like I think he feels the same way. Like these are special sheets. I can't be on these. So he's been like he doesn't even scratch. Normally he'd go in the corners and he'd like scratch and he'd do all this like so his behavior is improved so much from now that we know his diagnosis and he switched to the calming food versus the other food, and now the dog thing helped. I don't know if you've been following on Facebook, but I promised him if he does good in Europe that we're going to adopt him a cat sister or dog sister. I think I'm going to only ever own one dog and one cat for the rest of my life if it's just me. If I have a family and kids, it'll be a different story. But if it's just me, I think two is enough. And I want one of each. So I need to always have a dog to go running with and feel secure. So I want a Dalmatian, or I want like a poodle mix or something like the dog I saw today, which was freaking adorable. Like so literally like I felt like an instant connection to it. I don't know if it's a boy or girl. And like I thought it was a stray, and then I was talking to him, and like people tell me I'm like an animal whisperer. Like I don't know what it is. They just respond. Like I got very close to these pelicans the other day. I'll tell you this story some other time. I'm probably going to share it on Facebook. This is like getting all off topic, but I got super close to these birds, you guys. Like I literally just kept scooting and like putting my hand out and scooting. And then finally like the mama pelican was this fucking close to me. And I went to touch her, and she just like went like this, and her husband was on the other side, and she like looks at him like, I'm not okay with this. Like, what is she gonna do to me? But like I don't know what to do. And so they're both just like sitting there looking at me, and I'm sitting there and I'm like trying to like touch them, and then they like flew away, and I was like, there were a whole bunch of people at Mickey's watching this happen, and I hop over the rail, and I was like, this is the best day ever. I almost touched a pelican, and I literally was sitting right next to it. Like I felt like I was in the Garden of Eden. It was so effing cool, you guys. So like anyway, so then like it was like the last experience of like literally the last month. I'm not even like probably the whole year. That was like the coolest thing ever. I've always wanted to touch a bird, and literally I was like super close. I was like rubbing feathers in shirt with this like pelican mama, and it was like the coolest fucking experience ever, you guys. Like I don't even know how it happened, but I have like a natural whatever with children and elderly and pets. Not so much with adults. Adults tend to hate me. I don't fucking care. Fuck adults. So, but the animals love me, and kids usually love me. And I think a lot of it just stems from jealousy, because I grew up with a mom who was extremely insecure and jealous of every single thing that I did and tried to sabotage everything in my life, which she still does. So I don't care. I'm Cinderella, and fuck her. Hey, Maxie. Anyway, so the peeing problem is a mute point now, but this is very helpful to know, and I'm going to use this if I ever have another cat and we need to deal with that. Yeah, but Bax is probably going to live a long time because you're still a baby, and you are going to be the only cat in my household if it's just me. But Baxie, this doggy was so perfect for us. I don't know what we would name him, but he was literally like the cutest dog ever. And then he goes up to this like apartment complex, and the door is cracked over. I don't know if the guy was getting high in there. I don't know what the hell he was doing. And so I'm on the phone with the Aransas police, and I'm explaining, this is like the third time I've had to call in animals that were like mistreated. I don't know, it's my animal shelter training, and I just see them everywhere, and then I have to like stop and help them. So like I'm like asking the dog, I was like, is this your home? And he comes right up to me, and he starts making this like like he's not happy in this home, and I can tell because he's got fucking fleas everywhere, and he was limping, and like his hair's all matted. And I'm explaining this to the woman, and I was like, yeah, well, and she's listening to my conversation with this guy once he finally opens the door, and then he's like, yeah, he gets out all the time. I'm like, well, the door was open, so obviously your dog is going to get out all the time. And then he's like, I was just like, well, I mean, he doesn't have a collar. I thought he was a stray. So I'm actually on the phone with the police right now. And I'm like explaining the situation to this guy who doesn't really give a shit about this dog at all. And then he's just like, okay, sounds good, thanks, bye. And I'm like sitting there and I like, it's apartment 2 in the downtowner, and I was like, I want that dog if this guy is mistreating it. Like, but I can't take it now because I'm going to Europe for a month. And so I was like, but can you please like monitor this situation because I am in love with that dog. And she's like, sounds good, Chelsea. I was like, I want him. And so like, or her, I don't know. So, but he's like literally like the coolest freaking dog I've ever seen. And so like, but then like he goes right up to the door and he starts barking like super loud, and this guy is not coming out. And so I was like, is something wrong with your owner? Did something happen? And so he like looks at me and then he comes right up to me and he goes, and it is like, I don't know what's going on, but obviously you don't like them and they're not taking care of you. And so and I'm saying this out loud so this asshole inside can hear me, or whoever is dead on the floor. Like, I don't know what the fuck is happening when I'm walking into. So I keep ringing the doorbell and like knocking without entering their home, because if you enter a home, it's trespassing. And in Texas, they can fucking shoot you. Yeah, that's how they operate here. So also my friend Pilar told me this when we moved here. If you go hiking and you see purple spray paint somewhere, that's someone's property line. If you cross it, they legally can shoot you here. Just so you know. Fucking Texas. Okay, so yeah, so I'm like, okay, well, like I didn't tell him I wanted his dog. I didn't say anything, but when the door closed, I told her, I was like, I want that dog. He's not taking care of it. I was like, if I come back in a month and that dog is still being mistreated, I want him. And she's like, okay. And so I was like, just keep an eye on it for me. And she's like, I will. Like, I literally gave her like, and I'm telling you guys, it's number 2 downtown or whatever the street, you're not gonna know, but that asshole does not deserve that fucking dog. So I'm gonna take it if he gets it, if it gets removed from his premises. It's mine. I'm gonna wait till it's rehabilitated, or I will rehabilitate it my fucking self. This dog is my dog. I want that dog. Okay, so Bexy, you're not going outside. It's not happening. Do you know why? Do you remember when I said it's time to come in and you ran away and I said, that's it, you're grounded tomorrow? Do you remember that? You're still grounded. Your reward was the wet food. You did a good job with training, but you are still grounded, Bax. You're not going outside today. You did not listen to me when I told you it was time to come in. So you can sit there and you can longingly look at the door as long as you want, but you're not going outside. Do you understand, Bax? Do you acknowledge me? Are you looking at me? Do you acknowledge me? Thank you. Is your tail wagging? Message received. Thank you. All right. All right. So we have, this is the picture for this. Okay. And then we have soiling indoors. Oh, you guys can't even see him. He really wants to go outside. It's not happening. Soiling indoors. What's wrong with the litter tray? Cats are essentially clean and fastidious animals. Nevertheless, they can sometimes urinate or defecate indoors, even when there is a litter tray at their disposal. House training. Soiling indoors is not the result of the kitten having anxieties about his territory of the kind that leads to inappropriate marking. It can be because he is not fully house trained or not yet competent in using the cat flap to get outdoors. If there is no cat flap, perhaps your cat lacks an efficient means of communicating to you that he needs letting out. Some cats that normally go outside to relieve themselves may not be using a litter tray at all, and you will, of course, quickly spot this lapse in their ways indoors only if it is, saying, raining heavily, or the local fighting Tom is wandering around your garden. Changing the tray. Bex, you're pathetic. You're not going outside, but you're adorable. Do you want to play with something? You literally patiently sat in that thing almost all day, and now you're going to patiently sit there and look out the window? Bex, I'm not letting you out. It's not happening. Nice try. Go do something else. Bax. Why don't you go play? You're not going outside. Go play. Go drain some energy a different way. You're not going to go run around outside today. You're grounded. Do you understand me? Bax. Go do something else. You're getting on my nerves. Bax, you need to drain energy. You've been sitting all day. You're going to get fat, or you're going to run around at night when I want to sleep. So go play, go do something else, but you're not draining your energy outside today. It's not happening. Bax, look at me. Look at me, honey. Look at me. Bax. You're grounded. You're not going out today. Look at me. You're not going out today. Bax, you're not going out. Stop avoiding this. You're not going out. Go play somewhere else. Go drain your energy. Go run around. You're getting on my nerves. You've been stuck in a crate all day, and you're just patiently sitting there. You're being too good. That means you're going to be running around like a crazy cat at night with the zoomies. I don't want to deal with that. I want to sleep tonight, so I need you to drain your energy in the boat because you're not leaving the boat. Do you want to be tethered outside? I will compromise with the tethering. Let's do that. Sounds good. We're tethering you outside, and then we will finish this. We'll show everybody how we do this. Okay, so we're going to do the harness, and then we're going to do the tether. I don't want you on the long tether. We're just going to do the short one today, okay? Come here. Bax? No, absolutely not. You're getting tethered. We haven't done this in a while because you've been really good. But you're grounded. So you're getting tethered to the boat. Okay, guys, I'll show you how we do this. All right. Okay, you tethering. You're not roaming free. You got your harness on. So remember, we're tethered today. So we got your little tether one right here. So this is your outdoor tether. So these are your perimeters. I'm making sure it's not coming off. That's it. That's all you got. Bax, the last time this happened, remember you tried jumping out and you got out of your harness and you almost drowned. So let's not do that this time. We're going to stay on the boat. Yes? Do you hear me? Do you acknowledge me? You're looking at me. Can I get a tail wag? You always wag your tail. You're too friendly of a tail. Okay, Bax. Do not jump off this boat. You're going to get stuck in the water like last time. That was very scary. I literally came over here, you guys, and his harness, the whole setup right here was not on his body. It was in the water. So I was like, did he fall in the water? Like, is he drowning? I know he knows how to swim, but it was like fucking terrifying coming over here and seeing that. Back. So you can be outside, but you're on the leash. Please do not jump off the boat. Please do not do that. That's not okay. Do you understand me? You're going to stay on the boat, tethered. Bax, I don't trust you right now. The last time you were tethered, you Bax, please stay on the boat where the tether is. Okay? If you get out, you're grounded tomorrow as well. Do you understand me? Bax, look at me. Good boy. Okay. I'm going to continue reading this inside because it's too cold out here. Okay? Bax, stay on the boat. Do you understand? This is the last time I'm going to tell you, stay on the boat. It looks like you're getting ready to jump and you better not. You are staying on the boat, Bax. No, absolutely. Bax, you jump, you're in all day tomorrow too. Don't screw it up. Do not do this. No! Good. Good, Bax. No! Good, Bax. This is okay. This is not okay. Do you understand me? Good. All right. Hopefully he gets it. We'll see. All right. I'm trusting you. Don't fuck it up. Got it? Here we go. Hi, whoever's watching. Okay, back to this. Soiling indoors. Wait, did we finish this one? I don't even know. Okay, changing the tray. Wait, where did I stop? Needs letting out. Okay, some cats that normally go outside to relieve themselves may not be using a litter tray at all, and you will, of course, quickly spot this lapse in their ways indoors only if it is saying raining heavily or the local fighting Tom is wandering around your garden. Changing the tray. The problem often involves the litter tray. Where is that coming from? Because this is my favorite thing ever. Watch this. Bags. He does it on the portholes too. I was video chatting my mom one time and she's like, you got to take a picture of that. I have, I think, taken a picture of it. This happens a lot, but it's like my favorite thing is his little butt. Okay, I don't know what this is. The light is in like a weird, I can't fix it. Okay, light is behind me and it's a reflection. I can't get rid of it. Okay, it's annoying me, but I can't do anything about it. Okay, changing the tray. The problem often involves even more privacy. Connection is unstable. It's still counting down, so I guess there's good. Cats can be rather shy of relieving themselves in public view, and you should position the tray in a quiet, out of the way area in your home. Avoid a position by the cat flap or in a hallway or under the stairs. Trays with hoods give even more privacy and have the added advantage of reducing odor and the scattering of litter when the cat finishes his ablutions by raking with his feet. Also, like humans, cats don't like dining near lavatory. They insist on keeping their gastronomic and toilet facilities well separated. If the food bowl and the litter tray are close to one another, I have seen such an arrangement very often. A cat may well refuse to do his business in the place you chose for him. The actual type of litter can also be important. Cats like to relieve themselves on a soft substrate that is pleasurable to rake, and they find some types of wood pellet and paper pellet litters rather unpleasant for their delicate foot pads to stand on and rake, particularly after being used a few times. They demonstrate their dislike of such litter by opting for a spot on your much softer carpet. Experiment with different forms of litter to find the type your cat prefers and is most comfortable with. Inappropriate soiling. A checklist. Your cat may be soiling indoors because he is suffering from stress and feels that his territory is threatened, or because his litter tray is wrongly placed and provided with the wrong kind of litter. If this is a problem for your cat, check with the points below so that you can take the appropriate action. Are you sure that this really is misbehavior and not some medical problem involving the bowel or urinary system needing veterinary attention? If you are in doubt, arrange for a veterinary examination of your cat. Can you identify anything that might be triggering soiling incidents? And then deal with it appropriately. Is the soiling a reaction to some anxiety or stress outside or inside the home? Are these territorial disputes with neighbors, cats that intrude, or among individuals in a multi-cat household? Hi, whoever's watching. If you can identify a possible cause, try to eliminate or counter it. Do not punish your cat. Has anybody in the family upset the cat recently? Newly arrived adults, particularly people who are generally antipathetic towards cats, and young children sometimes disturb or alarm family pets. I love that. I fucking hate parents who think that animals need to understand how to be around their children instead of the other way around. Like, there needs to be like both. Like, the children need to be able to treat the pet okay, and the pet also needs to be able to treat the child okay. You can't just leave them alone in the room and get mad at the animal for not taking care of your fucking precious baby that's a brat, or my fucking nieces and nephews would torture my dog, and their parents would be all upset when my dog bit them, and then we had to come there with a muzzle and all this other fun. No, you gotta fucking train your kids too. This goes both ways, assholes. Like, my dog bitch, and I saw my nephew Amos strangle my dog nephew Charlie, and I looked at him and I was like, "What are you doing to that dog?" And Jonah, his dad, was like, "What's going on? Why are you lecturing my son?" I'm like, "He's choking Charlie right now." And I was like, "Did you do that to Ty? Because then Ty should have bit you, because I would have bit you too." Like, unbelievable. Like, they're fucking family. I swear to God. Like, they're much better now. But like, when I first started dating Aaron, like, his family was a fucking train wreck. Okay, has anything about the litter tray been changed recently? Have you remembered to clean it on schedule? Have you changed the type of litter you've been buying? Have areas that the cat has previously soiled been properly cleaned and deodorized? If yours is a multi-cat household, do you have a litter tray for each pet? Cats generally prefer to have a personal litter tray for their sole use. Keep the trays in separate areas. Has the cat inadvertently been denied access to the litter tray, or has the cat flap jammed? Has your cat put on so much weight that he cannot easily pass through the entrance of a hooded litter tray? If a plump cat is having difficulty negotiating such an entrance, you will need to enlarge the doorway in the hood or invest in a bigger litter tray altogether. You should also perhaps consider enrolling your cat in a slimming program organized by your local veterinary clinic. Okay, sorry. I just flashbacks to a decade and 12 years, a dozen years with the Coulter-Schwan family. And then when I finally was accepted and I loved them, it was too fucking late, guys. Too fucking late. So I bid them adieu. I still love my nieces and nephews. There's a lot of people I don't have issues with. Katie owes me 1,000,001 fucking apologies, and I will not fucking talk to her until she does. No, I will not accept a hug from her ever until she fucking does. Because the shit she fucking put me through, I want to beat the shit out of her for. She is a fucking psycho bitch. She uses her psychology degree and her manipulation skills, and I'm glad she's in a better place and she's doing a good job. But honestly, she's a fucking actress, and I don't trust her. I could probably throw her pretty fucking far, actually. She's a runner, and she's very skinny, and I could easily take her to the fucking ground and beat the shit out of her, which I wish I should have did, because her fucking mom never beat her. My mom beat the shit out of me. Fucking bitch. Starting from scratch. Sorry, guys. It's been a day. Your kitten's clawing the furniture. Cats frequently scratch in the house, usually in places they most definitely should not. It can be a way of marking their territory, but it is commonly also because they like the feel, the texture of the surface on which they are exercising and keeping their claws in shape. If it's not the back of the sofa or an armchair, your cat is quite likely to choose embossed wallpaper as a scratching post. Scratching posts. How can you stop this type of behavior? Scratching posts and pyramids or blocks of compressed corrugated paper, which you can find at the pet shop, will help. You can make a do-it-yourself version by wrapping a log in coarse sacking, and best of all, impregnating it with some catnip extract. Position the scratching posts in places where your kitten may feel vulnerable, for instance, by doors or exits to the outside. Your kitten has to be trained and encouraged to use such devices. As soon as you see the cat contemplating a scratching session on a valued piece of furniture, grab hold of him and take him to the acceptable scratching location. When your kitten scratches in the correct place, give a reward signal, such as a clicker or bell sound that your cat associates with a food treat. Or just give them a food treat, because the clicker bell thing is stupid. Or you can, like, Max and I do sing-alongs and like a bunch of other things, which I don't even know if I'm gonna have time. I'll share it probably at some point, but it's not going to be part of this series. It'll be on Bipolar Journalista or the Garden of Eden Project on Facebook. So look for them there, guys. Your kitten has to be trained. Where am I? I forgot where I am. Correct place. Give a reward signal, and then treat and praise your kitten. Start this type of teaching as early as possible. Multi-cat households will need more than one scratching device. The surgical removal of the cat's claws under anesthetic by a vet is a rather extreme way of dealing with a scratching problem. This mutilation of an animal, and mutilation is what it is illegal in some countries, including Britain and Australia. Claw covers. Some owners with valuable property put claw covers on their cats. These are available in the U.S., but they inhibit the cat from performing its perfectly natural scratching to mark his territory, and they can become contaminated when the cat covers fecal deposits. Have I showed you guys any of these pictures? Okay, these cute cats, and then these ones. So Bax has, I don't know if I've showed you guys his scratching post setup, so I will show you that. Okay, so he's got this one down here that the balls spin around and he can scratch it. I put all of his toys on top there just because. And then he's got this one. Who is calling me? Elaine. I'll call you back. Doing a video. Okay. All right. Back to this, guys. So that's what he uses. There is also a spray that I purchased. Okay, so this is Scratch Knot. You can get this at Walmart, or really anywhere, probably pet supplies, whatever. It's pretty cheap at Walmart. But it's you basically just spray it anywhere they're scratching. You don't want them to scratch, and it's supposed to deter them from scratching. This might expire. I don't see an expiration date. So I think it's scratch deterrent. It's basically one of your cat's 10 needs is to scratch. It's just part of it. But if they're scratching things that you don't want, you just spray it on here. So curtains, it says curtains, drapes, furniture, anywhere, literally anywhere. He likes to scratch all the wood in here. So I have to spray the wood constantly. He also likes scratching anything that hangs over here. This is a spot he likes to scratch right after he eats. So I have to spray anything over here and then pick him up and move him. So now that we were moving around so much that he was having all these behavioral issues, understandably. And then he lost his brother and he lost his sister. So not in that order. So, and he lost his dad. So he's been through a lot this year. And Aaron, my very selfish, narcissistic, autistic ex-husband, who I love, by the way, like a brother and a friend and hopefully a business partner someday. I care a lot about him. I respect him. I trust him. Even though we had to get to a point where I had to ask him something 3 times for him to actually tell me the truth, because he got so used to lying about everything around his family, because that's how they do things. They all lie to each other, and they're just whatever. In the beginning, they're all different now. And I feel like I contributed a lot to that family's growth process, but they will never admit that, because that is how they are. So fuck them. Whatever. I love them, but I'm very happy to no longer be a part of. I'm very happy to no longer be a culture shock. Okay, so where was I going with this? I don't know. Okay, the scratch knot. We were talking about that. I keep getting on these tangents on divorce things. I don't know why. Oh, so he was having behavioral issues because of this. Whatever. So a lot of that has been taken care of. Now that he's we're finally in one spot. We're staying in this spot, and now he has the promise that eventually he will have a sibling again. I don't know when that's going to happen, because if we're going back to Wisconsin for a few months and then we're going to possibly move to Europe, that's not fair to that animal. But I really love this dog, and if I feel like it doesn't work out over there, I think I can help him along in transitioning from here to Wisconsin to Europe eventually. So we'll see, because I love that dog so much. I really, really hope that the person screws up and that the dog gets taken away. As terrible as that sounds. because he's already mistreating him now. So, okay, over grooming, clean or too clean. Cats enjoy being groomed, and they are often perfectly happy for you to do all the work. They also groom themselves, of course, and in a multi-cat household, they groom other cats. However, grooming can become problem behavior when it is carried out to excess. Out of control grooming. Grooming is an important feature of feline life, and it serves to keep the fur in good condition, reduce stress by stimulating the release of soothing endorphin chemicals within the body, and plays a part in cementing relationships with fellow cats and humans. It becomes a problem when your kitten does virtually nothing else when he is not eating or sleeping. Large areas of hair may be removed by such incessant grooming. Baldness and skin inflammation may follow, and the cat becomes a rather unlovely sight. The ingestion of large amounts of hair, particularly by long hair types, often leads to the formation of fur balls in the stomach. These accumulations may cause serious obstructions in the digestive tract that can necessitate surgery. The causes and cures. If your cat does begin over grooming, the first thing you must do is seek veterinary advice in case some kind of irritating skin disease is at the root of it. If no skin disease is diagnosed, the cause is, again, likely to be stress, anxiety of some sort. It could be something like the arrival of another animal or a new baby in the house or a neighbor's noisy dog. If you can identify possible trigger factors, try to eliminate them. If you suspect your kitten is over grooming, take him to the vet. If necessary, the vet may refer your cat to a pet behaviorist. Also, crucially, after your cat's lifestyle to some degree, to give him the opportunity of more peaceful time to himself, put a snug bed for him inside or on top of a cupboard. And of course, give him lots of frequent loving attention and fussing. If your cat is a long-haired type, make sure that you groom him more frequently than usual to avoid the buildup of fur balls. Okay, so it's another. A Baxter does not have an over-grooming problem. Katniss was just, we were concerned for a little while, but then we came to find that she just really likes to have her hair a certain way, and she's very meticulous groomer, and she likes to take her time eating. She likes to take her time doing everything. Where Bax, the food's out there, he hoards it. He would hover over, like he's literally he's gotten better with that, but like I don't know if it was part of this shelter life where he like felt like he needed to like fight for his food. I have no idea, but he definitely loves eating and is calmed down from eating, which is helpful with training, because I know he responds to food treats. The praise stuff is okay, but he loves being fed as a reward, and he gets comfort out of eating. So just different personality stuff with the cats, but it is important to watch for over grooming. Okay, the perils of boredom. The home alone cat. Although some pets seem to put up happily with 8 or more hours to themselves, others do not. And then the devil finds work for the idle cat to do. It may come in the form of scratching or in-house soiling or in their attitude to you when you return. Out all day. Your kitten can easily come to resent being left alone in the house if all the family are out at work all day. He may seem depressed, or he may be less active and playful than usual, or eat and drink less. Alternatively, he may be far more demanding, pressing hard for attention, meowing nonstop, and perhaps howling indignantly. How can you cope with this without going to the extreme of giving up your job? You should provide your kitten with lots of things such as climbing frames, playstations, boxes, and cat toys of various kinds to keep him amused. If it's practical, also think about bringing another cat into the family to solve the problem. They're very social creatures, so to have Bax went from huge family of 5 to a family of 4 to a family of 3 to a family of 2, and that's where we're at now. So how can you cope with this without going to the extreme of giving up your job. You should provide, okay, I already did this. Also think about bringing, visit your local pet shop or search online to discover the range of toys and activities that now are available. Some people leave a radio playing quietly all day, providing music or programs to suit their cat's preferences. The psychological solution. You can also approach the problem psychologically. When you get home, make sure you spend 15 minutes of playtime with your cat. Then, for the next half hour, have nothing to do with him. Ignore him. If he jumps on your lap, put him down on the floor without uttering a word. At the end of the half hour, return to your normal behavior and interaction with him. It may take a week or even 2 or such training with the cat, almost pleading for your attention even more insistently, but eventually and without fail, he will come to understand that there are times when you can both have great fun together and times when you must each be free to do your own thing. Okay, guys, there's that. I've showed you lots of Baxter's toys. I think I've said this before. I had a friend who told me that she doesn't give all her kids all of their toys at once. She stores some of them in closet or wherever. And her kids are like teenagers now. But she told me this and I thought that was genius. I'm like, I'm going to try that with my pets. It's because I got so sick of having toys everywhere, like most parents, pet or kid parents do. And so most of them I put away. I also now holiday toys. I think I told you guys this around Christmas time. Maybe I did this on Facebook. What we do is if he has holiday themed toys like gingerbread men or Santa, I just put them in our holiday bin, and then I put those Christmassy toys in the stocking, and then they only get to see them once a year. So they get the same gift every year, but they only get to play with it for an entire month. So they don't know the difference. Like, you could probably do that for your real kids and just recycle the same Christmas themed toys, and they only get them for Christmas every year, and they don't freaking know the difference. Like, why are you spending thousands of dollars on toys for your kids that are Christmas themed? Just put them in your Christmas stuff and then give them to your kids for Christmas, and they only get to play with them while Christmas decorations are out. And then when Christmas theme is over, those toys go right back in, and that's it. So that's what we do in our household with my pets. Okay. So, where am I? Okay, I finished this. Strange appetites. Cats like the strangest things. Sometimes the cat will chew and, if allowed to, will swallow items that are definitely not suitable food for cats or people. This sort of behavior can seriously harm your cat, and you must take steps to prevent it. Eating habits. Among the odd things that cats eat are items made of plastic, rubber, or paper, but the commonest bizarre delicacy is wool. Cats that fancy fabrics can be either purely chewers or purely eaters, whereas those that prefer paper may do both. As you might expect, intestinal problems can result from the ingestion of these items. And wool is one of the most dangerous. Once wool eating was thought to be practiced only by Siamese cats, but nowadays we know other types of Oriental as well as ordinary cats can do it. I once examined a Burmese cat that had swallowed a ball of wool. One end of the length of wool was still protruding from his mouth, with the other trailing out of his back end. Why it happens? Kittens can begin this unfortunate habit when they are not long weaned, and the commonest starting age is between 2 and 4 months. The reasons may include genetic factors, but the old enemy stress, particularly the stress of being home, as commonly happens to kittens, is often the main cause. The frustration associated with boredom is also a contributing factor. Tackling the problem. As ever, punishment must not be used. Obviously, denying the cat access to unsuitable material is desirable but often difficult in a cluttered household. There are a number of things you can do. Spray the targeted material with one of the safe deterrent aerosols obtainable from pet shops. Make your cat's normal meal times more interesting and fun. Hide portions of food around your home or try changing the kind of food you offer and include some that necessitates chewing. Provide a good selection of toys to encourage pre-attacking skills. For advice on dealing with cats that eat houseplants, see pages 128 to 129, which is coming up. Okay, so there's these. Ba-boop. Okay. Cats as herbivores. Flower-fancying felines. Well fed through though they might be, some cats seem to have horticultural aspirations and love to nibble plants both indoors and out. This can be beneficial, but be aware that some plants found both indoors and out are poisonous to cats. Your cat may choose to nibble various plants because the leaves contain emetic chemicals that assist them in regurgitating fur balls, although it's just as likely that they simply like the texture. You can deter cats from chewing indoor plants by spraying them with a repellent aerosol, which you can buy in pet shops. Spraying plants outdoors, I need to check on Bax after this. Spraying plants outdoors is not always practicable. Practicable? Should be what? That's not right. Practicable. What? So take care, especially with young kittens, that they do not chew or lick poisonous plants. And then there's a list of poisonous plants on page 96 to 97, which I think we covered already. Indoor gardening, particularly if your cat has no access to a garden outside, provide him with a box in which you grow seedling grass. You can buy packets of specially prepared grass, seed, and the compost to grow it in some pet shops. Other plants that they often relish and that you can safely grow for them are cereal grass, wheat or oats, chickweed, colt's foot grass, nepeta, catnip, sage, and thyme. Or thyme is how I usually pronounce it, but it's actually thyme. I like thyme. Okay, poisonous plants. The following plants, both house plants and those found growing outdoors, are poisonous. Do not allow your kitten access to them. Caladium on elephant's ears, clematis, Dieffenbachia, dumbcane, poinsettias, true ivy, laburnum. I'm not reading the Latin names. Sweet pea, mistletoe, oleander, philodendron, laurel, cherry laurel, rhododendrons, and azaleas. False Jerusalem, cherry, winter cherry. Yeah, so poinsettias, guys, Christmas time, please beware. I got into this argument with them not an argument, but I announced it at church. If you have pets in your home, make sure you don't leave poinsettias out because your pet can die if it consumes it. It's actually, they're like, and Easter lilies too. They're like very popular but if you have animals at home, you need to be very careful. But churches always have Easter lilies and they always have poinsettias. I wish they would pick a different plant. It makes me so angry. Fat cats, overeating. Sometimes, and for some reason, cats begin to eat inordinate amounts. And as you might expect, in most cases, they put on weight. As with humans, obesity is becoming an increasing problem for cats. Too much food. It is perfectly natural for cats to eat more than normal after giving birth or when they are recovering from a debilitating illness, but some cats do it when they are apparently in perfect health. It occurs more often in housebound animals, and it can lead eventually to the development of serious diseases, including type 2 diabetes. Reasons for overeating. Some overeaters are not in perfect health. Their gluttony can be due to a variety of conditions such as parasitism, diabetes, pancreatic, and thyroid disease. The heaviest cat I know of was Spice, a ginger and white Tom living in Connecticut. He weighed a mighty 43 pounds, and this was due to an underactive thyroid gland. It is essential for all overeating cats to be examined by a vet without delay so that appropriate treatment can be provided if necessary. The cause of the habit in otherwise healthy cats may be boredom, stress, or the way you feed your animals. Give the cat as much diversion as possible by playing with him often and supplying toys. If you can identify any source of stress in your cat's daily life, see if you can eliminate or at least diminish it. Restrict his foods to meals fed twice a day and remove the dish if the food is not polished off within 30 minutes. Talk to your vet about the possibility of putting the cat onto a slimming diet using one of the proprietary cat slimming balance foods now available, and encourage exercise through play. Leaving home. When a cat moves out, Much to your dismay, a cat can decide to pack his bags and leave home. Of course, you haven't been cruel to him in any way. You have fed him conscientiously, and you have been happy to see him curled up every night in his bed by the kitchen stove. So why has he gone? No matter how tame, domesticated, and settled your kitten may seem to be, a cat remains independent of mind and will always be the decider and master of his own destiny. Among the reasons for his decision to go may be the following. He might have difficulties integrating with the neighborhood cats. This is not easy to solve, but you might be able to discuss matters with the neighbors who own the problem cat. If you are lucky, you might be able to agree on a timetable governing the times at which your and their cats are allowed out. A new dog, cat, or human baby in the family can be upsetting. Make sure you give your cat plenty of attention and lots of playtime. Your cat may wish to return to his old home if the family has moved house. Bring some of his bedding and possessions from the old house with you so that he can identify with his own personal scent. Keep him strictly indoors for at least the first 2 weeks after arriving in your new home. Thereafter, let him into the garden for a little exploration and exercise just before feeding time. Perhaps surprisingly, excessive interaction by owners can drive a cat away. Don't overfuss your cat so that he comes more often to you looking for attention. Shelter matters. Remember that your cat, which will bond far more strongly to his territory than to his owners, is likely to return home after venturing out of doors if he is adequately supplied with shelter from the elements. Snug resting places that afford privacy, good food, and naturally affection in his surroundings. This is much to be preferred to keeping a cat permanently indoors for fear of losing him. Okay, guys. What are we at? 57 minutes already. How long is this chapter? It's very long. Shoot. Okay. Things to do in the future. Okay, quick reference. So we have this much left, guys. So I'm going to try to bust through it. Neutered, not me. Still a lad about town. Does your neutered Tom kitten remain keenly interested when a queen belonging to you or a neighbor comes into heat? It may be surprising, but it is not an uncommon occurrence. Why should your neutered Tom go through the full rigmarole of courting and mating with a female? Although the testicles are the main source of the male sex hormone, testosterone, other glands, the adrenals, also secrete tiny amounts, enough to make your castrated Tom feel very macho, although, of course, there is no chance of him bothering any kittens. Your neutered queen, even though she no longer comes in heat, might also become a source of great attraction to all the Toms in the vicinity, to such an extent that she feels harassed and becomes reluctant to go outside, where she is likely to run into the Toms. Again, the explanation for her continuing charms seems to be the scent of residual female chemicals, almost certainly hormones, that her body still produces. There isn't much you can do for your queen if this occurs beyond making the garden or backyard as secure as possible against unwanted intrusions by erecting suitable trellis work or netting on the walls or fencing. Ensure the trellis work or netting is constructed at an appropriate height to keep out other cats. The only alternative is to keep her indoors permanently, although this should only be as a last resort. Hypersexuality. Some cats can be oversexed. In males, this can, of course, be due to their not having been castrated, or curiously, according to some experts, where they have been deprived of so-called rapid eye movement, REM sleep. It is believed that it is during the REM phases of sleep that cats, like humans, dream. Hypersexuality in queens manifested by prolonged and unusual frequent heat periods is invariably a cystic condition of the ovaries. Spain, the operation of hysterectomy will cure the problem should it arise in your cat. Always seek advice from your vet on such matters. I'm pretty sure we have a queen bee here who is hyper. She literally gets pregnant like every couple of months. I've been here. How long have I been here? October, November, December, January, February, March. I've been here almost 7 months, and she has had 4 litters in the 6-7 months that I've been here. Like, she lived, and they can't catch her. We've tried. I've gotten very close to catching her, but I tried to pick her up this last time. She let me, and she was pregnant. I was furious because they keep dumping her kittens at the fucking airport because there's no, for whatever reason, there's too many cats in this area. So, and that's part of the reason is there's all these effing strays. So they just keep, they dumped them at the airport instead of taking them to the animal shelter to get them fixed like a fucking intelligent human being would do, and then trying to home them or whatever. But there's like a feral cat influx here, and it's a huge problem. So there's just too many of them. So and I don't think cats should have to be domesticated. I don't think there's anything wrong. I honestly, I wish we didn't have zoos and sea worlds and like aquariums and other shit. I wish we would just let all of these animals just live freely among us like they're supposed to in the Garden of Eden. And we would just learn to be among them instead of caging them and mistreating them and breeding them to be our own entertainment. And that's my opinion of that. If I were the queen of the world, that's what I would do. All animals would be wild and free, and if they choose to be your pet and you can tame them and take care of them, then you can take care of them and tame them in whatever place you want to live. Just saying. Is your kitten crazy? Mad moments. You know the sort of thing. 1 minute your cat is sound asleep on the rug. The next he springs to his feet and dashes furiously around, not going anywhere in particular, just going all out. High spirits or illness. This type of behavior is very amusing to watch, and the thud of his paws as he races up and down stairs can be surprisingly loud. Even though he may still weigh only a few ounces, some breeds, including long hairs and Burmans with big paws, sound distinctly heavy-footed. Why should your beautiful bundle of fur suddenly explode in this way? You can normally put it down to sheer kittenish, joy de vivre. Whatever, I don't care. However, strange behavior can be caused by a brain disease of several types. Among them, infections, the most infamous one being rabies, tumors, poisons, and hormonal disorders, but these are not, thank goodness, common. Twitchy cat disease. One odd little phenomenon that you may come across is so-called twitchy cat disease. The kitten's skin suddenly begins to twitch and ripple, and then the cat jumps up and goes into the mad dash routine, no destination, especially in mind, that I have just described. He can sometimes appear to be hallucinating as if he is frightened of something only he can see and was just dreaming about. You will never know. Scientists think this behavior may be due to a brief alteration in the cat's brain chemistry that produces an effect similar to that of a human being on an LSD trip. The most important thing is that it is nothing for you to worry about. Your beloved kitten is not ill and most certainly not mad. He should settle down and return to normal before long. Getting long and I'm like tuning it out. I'm sorry, guys. I'm gonna check on Baxter and I'm gonna take a little break here. If anybody wants to go to the bathroom, this is gonna be a long one. I'm just trying to bust it out before I leave, so I don't have to bring it with me on my trip. Bax, damn it, Baxter. Bax, I really hope you didn't drown. I don't know where you are, Baxter. Baxter, come. You are not allowed on other boats. Get on ours. You're grounded tomorrow. Back one. enjoy your freedom, because the second you get back on this boat, buddy, you're not getting off of it until Tuesday. I hope it was worth it. Little jerk. At least he didn't drown. Fucking cat. Okay. Timid Toms. Not mine. Inborn feline fearfulness. There are several reasons for your kitten to become withdrawn and nervous, but in some cases, as with humans, timidity is something the cat has been born with. Lots of kittens are bold, adventurous, extrovert characters. Others by nature introverted and reserved. Prefer most of the time to be hidden away under a bed or in a box in a secluded corner. They were born like this, and under no circumstances should such a kitten be punished or dragged out of his hideaway and forced to participate in the hurly-burly of everyday life. Compulsion and scolding have absolutely no place in his therapy. Be patient and gentle. Alternative remedies. Many of these cats can be helped by alternative medicine techniques. Some vets offer homeopathic remedies, and they will prescribe anxiety-relieving preparations that are non-sedating, free of any side effects, and safe for all cats. Other products in spray or room diffuser form contain synthetic analogs of the natural calming pheromones found in a cat's facial glands. Used in the family home, they can reduce stress and anxiety in your kitten and may also be beneficial in combating other undesirable behavior, such as scratching and indoor spraying. Don't rush. Whatever form of timidity is affecting his behavior, whether it is innate or acquired, you must let your kitten take his time and do his own thing. When he does emerge to eat from time to time, do not rush at him enthusiastically. Don't be pushy. You must be patient and gentle. Talking to him quietly in an encouraging way, petting him lightly, and giving him little food treats. It is often best if just one family member feeds him, at least to begin with, until he feels a little more confident with other people. Who goes there? Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 pages left, guys. Okay, who goes there? Xenophobic cats. Xenophobic. Xenophobic cats. I don't know what that is. Many cats are suspicious of, or they actually and actively dislike strangers, certainly for at least a short time after meeting them. This is hardly surprising given the somewhat fraught historical relationship between humans and cats. Faulty socializing. The history of the domesticated cat's relationship with man over the millennia has been uneasy. Cats have frequently been maltreated or even persecuted, and the situation has improved only in relatively recent times. Though even now, cruelty is sadly not uncommon. So there is in all cats, including our much treasured family members, an instinctive weariness, which has been passed down from their forebears. This feline circumspection may be enhanced in some individuals by faulty socializing during kittenhood or an unpleasant experience at the hand of a human being